Coming to you from the Strings and Things studio in Ventura, California, I'm Anne,
I'm Katie.
And I'm Karin.
and this is the Strings Unraveled podcast.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
already December 2nd, so
That's
yay.
wild.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was late this year, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, boom, Christmas time.
Yeah. Wait.
Yep.
We do an advent calendar where we get chocolate and every day we take turns. Totally forgot to buy anything till today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. I haven't been to Trader Joe's in like 2 weeks, so I've probably all gone.
Yeah, it's the second. You're probably too late. Oh, well.
Yeah, this is the first year so a few years ago I stopped getting the Trader Joe's ones and then I started getting like the fancy Cost Plus ones.
Oh.
Some they had like cocoa or one had coffee or one had like hot peppers or pepper sauces or stuff like that. And the year that my youngest was a vegan, try finding something that doesn't have milk or chocolate in it.
As
So
a Christmas themed one? Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah, but this year I guess the older ones are probably missing out because we didn't get anything because they're there.
That's
So
what happens. Yeah, I saw
we bought plane tickets. That's what we did.
I saw an advent calendar at Target today when I was looking for something else, and I was like, oh yeah, I was going to get an advent calendar for James. I should think about that. And then I was like, oh wait, it's the second already.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It gets a double day then.
That's true. That's true. I bought
Yeah.
like Trader Joe's had like 12 cents of Christmas. I don't know what they called it, 12 candles or whatever.
Ooh.
And it was like a 12-day candle advent calendar. But I got it like 3 weeks ago, and I just opened them all because I was like, I don't want to wait. They're just candles.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yep.
I am doing an advent calendar. I got a Harney and Sons 12 days of Christmas teas,
Ooh, nice.
and my son and I are sharing them in the morning on the way to school.
That sounds lovely.
So the first one was raspberry tea, which wasn't very special.
Well,
You know what?
It
I
was
really
raspberry
should.
tea.
Maybe I'll go out and get something because I do have one child with me who probably would like to keep the tradition going.
Or
But
just for your own joy.
yeah, just for you.
that's true. I did get. I got we usually like the round truffle balls from Lindor.
Oh, those are yummy.
And we get the multi pack because you get different flavors. Except everyone always feels like when they get the milk chocolate, it's a wah wah.
Oh,
I prefer
yeah,
the milk
it's just
chocolate.
double.
See, I like the white chocolate, and they
So
didn't give me.
Yeah.
They didn't give me. I know white chocolate's technically not chocolate.
I don't care if it's not
just
chocolate. I just care that it's gross.
Oh, okay. I think the lint
That's
one
okay.
is so smooth, though. It's so good.
Well, probably what really got me onto white chocolate was when you could get the white chocolate peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good.
Those are good.
You're winding yarn, Karin?
Why? See
I
my
couldn't
arm
tell
going
what
back
your
and
arm
forth?
was doing. I'm like, are you
It's-
petting? Is petting something?
No.
Petting your yarn. What were you winding? It's so bright.
This is a kit called it's a mystery merrymaking knit along. So it's all Christmas colors. So therefore this is a good segue. So what are you working on?
Karin?
Well, before we do that, guys,
yes,
we should take a second to talk about. I mean, we were talking about chocolate, right? Chocolate's delicious.
Yeah.
Tea is good.
yeah.
We also wanted to take a second to talk about Magic Mind, which is also delicious and good for
It's
you.
very delicious. Yum.
I'm using my Magic Mind like my advent calendar because I've got a full box of it. So I'm like, ooh, what am I going to have this morning? Another Magic Mind.
It's a tiny little treasure.
Yeah.
Think of it. It's like an advent every month.
It's a festive little green juice shot, and it's delicious, and it's got all kinds of yummy and delicious and good things for you in it, vitamins and things that are good for your mind and your body. And if you guys want to try it out, They have actually a special Black Friday offer going on. It's not Friday anymore, but it is 50% off until the 6th of December. So if you are listening to this now, you have a couple days left to get a sweet deal. With
That's cool.
our link, which is magicmind.com/stringsunraveledbf for Black Friday. And there's no coupon code or anything. You just go to that website, magicmind.com/stringsunraveledbf, and you can get 50% off for this Black Friday offer, which is awesome. There will be a link in our description. So if you don't want to write that down or remember how to spell any of those things, you can click on the link and it'll take you right there. And thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring our episode. Now, Karin, what are you working on?
Thank you. Oh, okay. So it's 12 days of clues, and every day you get a new clue. Today's the 2nd, so I got clue 2. Clue 1 looks like this.
Ooh, so that's like a mossy green and a hunter green.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
is it a shawl?
So this yarn, it's just a cowl, so it can be done actually within the first half of the month. So it's a small little thing, and the clues so far are small.
That you're doing. That stitch is cool.
Well, that was just stockinette stitch, and then like you're working it this way. So then you had some stitches that just got extended. They got slipped over multiple rows.
Like
so it's kind of like little bits of holly. Think of it like pines, little bits of pine.
Oh, it does. It looks like boughs of pine.
Yeah, like little needles and. Mm-hmm. So there's those two. Today's clue has these colors,
red and white,
which is the natural. And the yarn is by Lolo Did It. It's a merrymaking kit from Lolo Did It. So it's 6 mini skeins is the whole thing. So it's not too much. I'm guessing that tomorrow's clue will have this pretty gold, which is Stay Golden.
Fine.
Nice little marigold. And this one's called Yeti.
Oh, it's kind of
nice. Is it like an off-white or
snowdrifts?
It's kind of like a light mushroomy kind of tone to it. Compared to this is called Naked, so you can see.
Ooh, cheeky.
The undyed, so you can kind of get a sense of the color of it.
Nice.
So it's just these 6 mini skeins with red and the 2 and white and mushroom and the 2 greens.
Cute.
And
fun.
So it's a very. She had one that was a little bit brighter, but of course it was sold out. But I will say, she's got a couple different dyers that are making kits for her. This was Lolo Did It. She had Miss Babs, but the color I really wanted with Miss Babs was going to be gone, so was already gone.
Mary
so I'm
I don't think I've heard of it.
Huh?
What's Mary?
Making? It's the Mary Making Knit Along by Stephanie Dotes. What is her name? Tellybean. Stephanie Lotvin.
Got it. Cool.
Tellybeanknits.com. So I like that. So this was, let's see, today's clue.
Oh, it's so cute.
And the layout's really nice. You know, I like that she's doing each clue separately, so you don't have to like download a whole thing over and over again. Yeah. You can just download just that clue and just print out that clue if you want. She includes a color chart and a black and white for people who want to do different things and not necessarily. But this is it. That's all there is to today's clue. So they're like little bites. This clue is called. No, no. That was what I was winding.
Yeah, got it.
This one's called Down the Chimney.
Got it.
I did get yesterday's on time, so.
It's still today.
Yeah. Huh?
It's still today.
Day 2.
Yeah.
Is
and
today.
It's still day 2. Yeah.
Like you still have time today to do it.
Yes. That's what I'll be doing while we're talking.
Got it.
So. I got a few other things. Huh? Yeah, I got other things I'm working on. You know, I'm always working on lots of stuff. Working more on this vest. It's a crocheted vest that's like the moss stitch. My crochet hook is getting caught. Hold on. And it's a test knit for Natalie Thomas of Detroit Knits. And here's I got the underarm, and now I'm going to do the tunic length versus
Cute.
so you can see it's kind of like and then it'll have ribbing that crisscrosses in the front. So it's got
Ooh.
finishing and everything for a vest, but
Cute.
So it's
yeah.
crocheted. What kind of ribbing are they doing?
I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know yet.
Very good.
But I
I
like the
also did not read
stitch.
my whole pattern.
As you can
Tell
see,
us
it's a
about it.
really
Is it like a moss stitch?
it's a moss stitch. It's a crochet moss stitch, which I had never done before. You can see here it is in the way that I'm doing it.
It makes such a nice
Single crochet, chain one, and then when on the next row they're offset, and then I'm not going into the space, I'm going into the actual chain. So it kind of anchors it so it's not like it has a little more solid fabric that way.
nice.
I did have
It's
to
such a malleable
go.
fabric.
Yeah, it's got a nice texture. It lends itself well to both solids and multicolors. Um, these are Miss Babs, but look, this is still my first ball of
Wow.
Yowza,
Yeah.
because
Yowza.
Yowza I have 3, but I don't need much Yowza. I guess for tunic length, but yeah, look, I'm getting most of all of the upper part done with. I still have quite a bit left
Nice.
So
of
you've
my
got the
first
front,
ball.
the back, and like 4 inches of the body.
Yeah, about that. What else? And then also by Natalie, it's not a test knit, I just wanted to try it. She's got it's a mosaic crochet mosaic. And I'm not to the mosaic part right now. I can't believe I'm doing 2 sweaters in single crochet.
Yeah.
You crazy person.
But it's a big enough hook. And it's not too
Sure.
bad. Like, so I've got the yoke almost done.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Is that actually black?
No, it's charcoal.
Okay.
It's
It
close.
looks like a classic round
See,
yoke.
I'm wearing a darker charcoal. You could see
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
similar, but not quite. Um, and the mosaic part is going to be done in this color. And then
Oh,
this
that's
is
pretty.
Lion Brand Color Theory.
What's the name of the colors?
So it is. Do they name their stuff?
Or I think so. Lion Brand.
Let me see. 2 wands. This is called Himalayan Salt. So yeah, it's kind
Okay.
of a peachy pink Himalayan sea
Pretty.
salt. And this one is Thunder.
Thunder.
So, yeah. So yeah, I maybe because it's single crochet and it's pretty much multiple rounds of single crochet, 3 rounds of single crochet, 1 round of increases. So it's a nice, just rounded yoke. And I think the neck line on this one is just a real simple finish. So most of the work is done in the mosaic, which I haven't ever done mosaic crochet. So
It's
I'm
so
kind of
fun.
excited for that part.
Yeah,
Huh?
I like it. I love mosaic crochet. I like it much better than knitted mosaic knitting.
So
Mosaic knitting is a little bit of a brain twister for me, but once you get the
mhm.
crochet going, it's easy to get into a flow.
And I think I would like mosaic in the round
Yes.
as opposed to knit. Like a lot of times with knitted mosaic, it's flat. And yeah, so those are the 3 main things that I'm working on. And then I'll have stuff next time to talk about. So before we moved, my son, my middle son, entrusted me with a very special patch
Oh.
that you cannot get. And again, it's got like a droid work. It's the droids, but it's like as a corporation. If the droids were, the Jawas, not droids, Jawas. So anyway, he's like, "Don't lose this. I can't get another one of these. Don't lose this." But he wanted me to make him a fanny pack out of leather, like I made for my husband. I put a Star Wars patch on that one. So we packed everything, and I was super careful. I was pretty certain that I didn't actually pack it, but I brought it on the plane with me so I wouldn't lose it. But months have gone by, and I couldn't remember where I put it.
Uh-oh.
I found it, and I even took a picture.
Yay!
I took a picture as proof of life.
Good. It's
And so I'm just
this is a
waiting for
happy ending.
some. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my hardware to come, and then I will get that before. That way, he'll have it when he comes in a few
Aw,
weeks.
Nice.
Another reason to organize my space so I can
very
sew
exciting.
and be comfortable. Anyway,
Nice.
that's it for me.
What are you
Katie,
working
what are
on?
you working on?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you.
I am currently trying to get my crochet hook in a very tight stitch. I'm crocheting a pattern for an Amish puzzle ball. That's what the pattern calls it.
Oh, so
Oh, what is
exciting.
that? I've never heard of that.
It's a little toy for my baby niece. So it's a
Oh, I have seen them. I've just never seen the crocheted ones. How cute is that?
yeah. So it's a little 3-piece ball that you can like puzzle piece together and it makes a little toy, which I thought would be good for a 1-year-old. So I'm making it with my background main color is like cream, and then I have like a
Mhm.
sagey green, a purpley color, and some pink.
Oh, that's so cute. It's so
Yeah,
girly.
yep. So that's what I'm working on. I have to make 12 of these little boring wedge shaped pieces before I can do the fun
Oh,
color part. So I am crocheting tiny wedges.
so
And
do you have when you? I heard you say getting into a tight stitch. Do you have a suggestion for how do you just kind of shove it in there? Do you get a smaller hook to help
I'm not
out, like a
I'm not
buddy
getting up.
hook?
I'm not getting up to get another crochet hook. I'm struggling.
But you're gonna make
Um,
it work.
I'm gonna make it work. You have to like seam, like crochet close the edges, and it's like I should crochet that edge stitch a little looser, but I don't ever remember to do that. Um, but that is what I'm working on. I also have. I decided last week it would be a good idea. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to see if I can hear if James is around. I don't think he is. I decided last week that it was a good idea to try and crochet him a sweater for Christmas, or not crochet, knit a sweater for Christmas for him. Um, so this is as far as I have gotten.
Oh, you're already divided for the sleeves and you're in the body?
Yes, I have divided sleeves. Hold on, let me turn on a light so that you can actually see what I'm holding up to you. So there's the top,
Fantastic.
the yoke,
Ooh.
all done, and I am working on the body. I've got a couple inches of body. This is Anchor's sweater, or Anchor's pullover,
Oh.
Anker, by
Hmm.
Petite Knits. Um, so I've got all the yoke done, and I am chugging along on the body. And yeah, that's what I've mostly been like focused on for my knitting time. So those are the only two things I'm working on, are 2 Christmas gifts right now.
That's practically monogamy.
I
Because you get
Yeah.
know.
like you have one crochet project and one knitting project.
I am
Wow.
impressed with myself as well.
Yes. Okay. I need to get up for just 1 second.
Okay.
Are you guys ready for another game of what is Anne not working on?
Oh, always.
You know, there's a lot of things. Um, so I am coming along very well on my red and green stripy Tolsta.
Yeah, very cute.
Oh, I
Yes.
love it.
I'm about to start the ribbing on the bottom. And the green was only one ball, so I'm gonna like finish the body in the pepperminty gradient.
That totally
And
works.
then I ended the sleeves in the same place, so I'll pick the sleeves up. And I had to buy one more ball, so
Mm,
the sleeves will be perfectly matching, which is exciting.
that's nice.
Woohoo.
And I'll just work the sleeves until, because I always imagined the sleeves would be 3/4 length, but I guess I had overestimated the amount of yarn I had. So I will just work it till the yarn is gone, because I'll have a pretty significant amount of each of the other balls.
Nice.
Then I am working on socks.
Well, that's fun.
So there was like a pretty decent yarn sale at Michael's this weekend So I got a bunch of Patton's Croix, which is fun to make little ankle socks with.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really like socks on DPN. So I have some little sockies
Cute.
on there. And I mean, I showed you guys my Lacey Tolsta when
Mhm.
we were doing our book club. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how much it's grown since you've seen it because it was like growing like gangbusters, and then I didn't get to work on it this week. So here it is,
Very
and
Oh,
pretty.
it's so pretty.
I'm into I don't think I was as far as this. I've divided off. I finished my sleeves, which are the sleeves of Alpine Bloom, which
Yeah.
you make separately and graft on. My favorite thing. And now I'm into the first time doing the lace from Cancun, one of the laces, which is this like super fun yarn over, slip one, knit two, and then you pass the slip stitch over the two knitted stitches. So it
Cute.
makes this kind of cool trellisy lattice look. And then I'm working on a cross stitch because that
Oh,
was like a
fun.
really successful present for my mom. I actually started this back in October and I was
Mhm.
going great guns. It's 5.5 10-inch 10 stitch blocks by I think 8.5, so it's still finishable this month in time for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a what it is it's a Madonna and Saint Joseph, and they're holding baby Jesus is where
Oh, cool.
it's going to go.
That's a big cross stitch project.
It's it I would love to know as a novice cross stitcher, and maybe it's karma for all the times I told everything that people that everything in knitting was easy. What decides what an easy level cross stitch pattern is? I mean, I picked it by subject because I thought my mom would like another, nativity scene kind of Madonna and
Mm-hmm.
Child
Uh-huh.
um,
Is
themed
it?
ornament,
Yeah.
which, well, there are like half stitches and quarter stitches and three-quarter stitches in this, and
Yeah.
all those figures are going to be outlined.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, what was easy about this? It's
It
rated
says
easy.
easy.
Yeah,
Um,
it's from last year's Just Cross Stitch ornament collection. And
Hmm.
what's your insight, Katie?
I mean, I
You
would
started to have a
say,
thought.
well, is it full coverage? Like, is there background or is it just, like, do
Oh,
you use
Mm-hmm.
the cloth as your background?
yes. There's no like it's just the figure, so maybe
Okay.
that figures into it.
Maybe. Is like my other thought was maybe like number of colors used? I don't
There's
know.
a lot of colors. There's like
Mm,
15 colors.
And it's
okay.
on Aida. Is it on linen or
Yeah,
Aida?
Ada. Yeah,
Ada. Well, Ada's, but that makes it a little, but still quarter
yeah. There's
stitches.
all these
Yeah, I don't really know
crazy.
what
I don't know if you guys
categorizes it.
see. I don't think it's this.
It's
So
not.
Yeah, it
I don't know
doesn't
if you
look
see
easy.
in Joseph's headband here,
Uh-huh.
there are like all kinds of half and quarters to
Yeah.
shade the between the cloth and the band.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's turning out super cool and I'm having fun, but I don't know what constitutes easy.
Yeah,
I think all cross
asked
stitches and nothing fancy would be easy.
somebody asked me like how do they like judge cross stitch like at a fair because there are cross stitch
Yeah.
projects and my answer was I would guess by the finishing like they probably look at the back of it,
Yeah,
is probably
I
my
definitely
guess.
think they look at the
but
finishing.
but I'm curious about what their scale is. Like if you have the
yeah,
magazine, are there like hard patterns in it you can refer to?
yeah, yes. Hard and intermediate. And those looked easier than this one. So maybe it's
Huh.
just a typo. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
cut and paste
Maybe it's a
typo.
they
typo. That's
mislabeled it.
it.
I have no idea.
Um, and I'm about halfway through the start of another Ribbon Canyon. I'm
Oh,
making this
fun.
one for my son Alexander for our handmade Christmas gift exchange. And Katie saw this, but Marabella has tried to steal my Ribbon Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't give it to her.
Uh,
But because two things. So maybe you guys can be my sounding board. So each of these, like it's hard to do more than one row of this in a night because it takes about 3 hours once you get into it. The base
ay,
row
ay, ay.
start takes more time. Um, and I have already have the blocks finished to make her a like a jumbo size granny square chenille. The granny squares are rose blocks, three-dimensional roses, and I have
Mhm.
that
Hmm.
they look kind of like icing roses is what they remind me of. I finished them last June. And I have all of those finished, and all I have to do is put them together.
Mhm.
Or and then I can make her a ribbon canyon for her birthday, which is in March. I bought the yarn already thinking like maybe I could do both of them this month. But I don't think that's yeah, okay, thank you, Karen. You're adamantly shaking your head. But I don't think that's realistic.
Well, you'll hurt. She'll appreciate it better in March having things spread out. That's my
I
opinion. I
yeah,
don't know if that's factual, but that's just what I'm thinking.
it's
And
how I
you'll
can
enjoy
help. Yeah, I just
yourself
want to
more.
justify it. Yeah, I'll be a nicer mom.
And if she wants a rainbow one, like I feel like I remember her saying that,
Okay,
then
good. That stood out, right? Because I'm
yeah,
choosing rainbow.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that I remember either you telling me that she wanted that, or I remember her telling me that she wanted that.
And she
But
did it in front of you. She said several colors, and rainbow was one of them. So I'm glad
yeah,
that stood out to you.
so like this is going to be her ribbon canyon, not yours that you gave to her, right?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, she will get it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, finish
Okay.
the one with the blocks you already have.
Okay.
That's silly to not do
Yes.
that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now I
Yeah.
have another question. So it's 15 rows. Um, and a rainbow is 7 distinct colors. And I don't want to do any half steps because it wouldn't solve the problem of not having the 15th color. Because like if I did a half step in between, I
Right.
mean, I'm sure I could make it work. But anyway, I just wanted Roy G. Biv. So I got a worsted weight chenille, and I can't decide if I should start or end with it. So if I start with it,
Hmm.
the red is going to be touching what would be clouds. Is kind of what I'm imagining. Is that it's white, fluffy chenille, and it'll be clouds.
Mm,
Or I can finish with it, and um, the purple or lavender will be touching it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Is there?
Other caveat. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask. It starts small and it gets bigger, right? So is one.
Um, Not really.
I'm wondering,
Every
like, does one
row,
color more prominent? Like, are the colors you use near the end? Do you see more of them? You know?
not really.
Okay.
Let me grab my blanket and then you can maybe visualize
I
it
need to
better.
visualize this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes. And so while I'm grabbing the blanket, think about this. The chenille would either then be something that I have to, when I'm doing the foundation row, work into the other side, essentially
Ugh.
the other side of a
Ugh.
chain,
No.
or or single crochet together to join the sides that aren't joined automatically.
I mean, that sounds easier because you're doing the stitching with the yarn rather than trying to get your hook into it, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that sounds easier. I don't know.
they both sound very tedious.
Yes, but one of them sounds more
But
tedious to
which
me
is
than the
better?
other.
Okay, so you have the green was my first round, my foundation round on this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine chenille here where the
Okay.
green is.
Yeah.
And so some of it's on the outside, and sometimes
Oh, I understand. It like curves back
you're,
on top of itself, right?
yeah,
Oh.
sometimes your
Okay.
starting color is on the inside of the curve, but it always touches the color it touches.
Okay. I understand.
So
So it doesn't
sometimes
really
the
make a
cloud would be
huge
on the
difference
inside.
then.
I kind
Well,
of like the
No,
lavender touching the cloud.
lavender touching the cloud. So that's what's missing right now. I think I
yeah.
chose this. There's three purples here. I think I chose this middle shade of lavender.
Ah.
So you're thinking finish with it. That's probably a lot easier,
That's what I would vote
actually.
for. Also, I think it would
Because the
look.
starting,
I think it would
you
look
think it
better
would look
against the purple than against the red. But
okay.
I don't know.
Thank you. That's what I needed. I needed your opinions. Because the first foundation row, even though I skip the chain and I do foundation double crochets, it's pretty tedious.
Yeah, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
It's better, but it's pretty tedious. Oh, and then I did something naughty last night
Okay.
because it was like it's I'm just gonna take this little break between Thanksgiving and the start of December, i.e. December 30th and the
Yeah,
1st.
2 days.
I'm just gonna play for a little bit, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So several people, and I was gonna resist this because I have something else in a similar motif that I don't need a whole nother project to.
Is it ever about need? It's not about need.
It's not about need, but I'm ignoring this other project. But I have started Andrea Mowry's Framed,
Oh yeah.
which is a very popular sweater that has been coming through the studio a little bit. And I've seen two waved right under my nose that were both
Yeah.
gorgeous. So I started the sleeve of a Framed. And
Fun.
I love it.
I'm sort of treating this as a swatch. I haven't measured my gauge yet. And patent score again, because it sort of does what it doesn't do. It does not do what Spin Cycle does, but it sort of does what Spin Cycle
Sure.
does.
Yeah. You get a
Yeah.
similar kind of look, but
Good enough for a lot less.
yeah,
Semi-marled.
save some
my
cash.
my background is our favorite yarn, Lux Merino.
Nice.
And then this one's gonna have black, where the in the sweater it's tiny little colorwork motifs of like a quilted star, and it's a 8-pointed quilted star or patchwork star, and then you have a contrast color on the ribbing and the yoke. But I also might have enough yarn for two. So anyway, but I only started one.
Good. That's reasonable.
And I realized from someone starting their sleeve that this is a very good sweater for making the sleeve separately and grafting it on.
And why is
And
that?
I was like, because it is what I want to do.
Great.
No. Okay,
That
so
sounds totally reasonable.
a knitter brought this dilemma, and I think it looks very good on their sweater, but I started to chew on this. When you pick up the sleeves, it's a drop shoulder sweater, and you pick up the sleeves around the sleeve opening in just the main color, and then you start the color work. So you can see this sliver of uncolor worked stitches. So what I decided to do, I am not reworking. This is also actually a really great sleeve to work from the bottom up because there's no shaping in the sleeve. So you could just cast on the ribbing number and work towards. But I cast on a provisional cast on, and I'm going to open that and graft the provisional cast on to the sleeve hole. And I'm going to pick up. I'm going to pick up in the color that matches the yoke.
Oh, that's smart.
To that. Yep. So I'm as often happens, I'm feeling very clever with just my thoughts. We'll see if it works.
Until it's time to put into practice. I'm wondering,
to execute.
I'm sure you could pick up stitches in pattern.
Right. You could.
Right.
But it would not be fun.
No.
And we look closely at her sweater, and you can see it in the sweater pictured in the pattern, but it's so subtle that, like, who cares?
Right. Yeah.
And I probably would have never, ever, ever, like, even considered it as something to worry about.
Right.
So someone brought it to my attention, and then it became a thought worm.
And Anne couldn't stop thinking about it.
I couldn't. Okay, so those are the things I'm working on. It's not so bad.
That's not so bad. You've had way more.
No.
Yeah, in the past. So many more. And you helped talk me out of starting another thing. So thanks, guys. You're the best.
You're welcome.
So, Karin, What have you
Yes.
finished?
I finished something that is out front in my yard.
Ooh.
What the
I
heck?
There's a
can't
little
see
pop
that.
up. Oh my gosh, it's so
Oh,
cute. Tell us
I
about it.
saw that.
First,
I saw a
describe it.
TikTok about how to make that. That's very cute.
It's a giant cup of cocoa.
It's
And
adorable.
yeah. Oh, and here's the top. I actually doggone it. I put it in Slack also. But you can see the top.
Oh, they're like ornaments and marshmallows. Oh my
Yeah, so the
goodness, that's so
pool
cute.
take a couple pool noodles
Mm-hmm.
and you cut them into marshmallow shape and you sand the edges. And I didn't believe it or not, I did not own a hot glue gun.
I
How
do
is that
believe
possible?
it. Yeah, because we're makers, we're not necessarily crafty.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
think glue guns are a sign of craftiness.
Ah, that makes sense. But I did, of course, I had to get one that had two speeds,
Mm-hmm.
low and high. Apparently, high is too high for pool noodles, and I put the hot glue on there, and it started melting the pool noodle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so added more, and so you take really wide painter's tape,
Mm-hmm.
and you tape off a section, and then you paint it red, so it looks like a giant candy cane. Um, and that's a pot for like a planter's pot, and you do no, she makes it look so much easier than it really is. That handle is a pool noodle, right? And
Yes.
you put a coat hanger in it,
Mm-hmm.
but the coat hanger to bend, it's supposed to hold the bend. It really needs multiple coat hangers to truly hold that bend. And I did learn a very important lesson: don't paint it before you bend it, because
Oh.
all the paint just sort of flaked off right where it
Oopsie.
was bending. But yeah, so that's how it takes lots of you know how they do it. They just snap their fingers and it's done. It's like super easy. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
mine didn't look quite that easy, but and then the snowflake print doesn't exactly lay flat, but from the sidewalk it looks amazing. Looks
Right. It
pretty
looks good
rad.
from here.
Yeah. So
Cute.
um so that's the thing I completed was a decoration for the outside of our house.
That's
That's
darn
fun.
cute.
It's a fun
Yeah.
Christmas craft.
I actually haven't made a decoration in decades. So, but that one, I thought I'm going to make that. That sounds like
Yeah.
a giant cup of hot cocoa sound. And then I made red velvet hot cocoa last
Ooh,
night.
yum.
Oh,
And it
yum.
was good with a little bit of pepper added to it. Just not enough for you to say that there was pepper, but it added something to the cocoa. So,
A little
anyway,
heat. You made it hotter.
hotta. Yeah, hotta. I think that's the only thing I've actually completed. Thanksgiving was pretty low key. I did not do all of the stuff I normally do for Thanksgiving. There's fewer of us and it just wasn't a good week for that. But anyway.
Cool. I'm next, I think, right?
Yes,
What have I
ma'am.
finished? Well, we had our holiday boutique last weekend. And thank you to
Oh
everybody who
yeah, I made
came
all
out and
those things.
shopped. Um,
That's right, I made those things.
Mm-hmm.
if you were unable to make it to our boutique, everything that we made that's left is available on our website if you want to go check it out and pick up some holiday gifts. But I made a bunch of stuff for that. I think I ended up with 9 or 10 box bags. I think I made 10 tablet cases. I made like 20 something
Wow.
eyeglass cases. I made some number, I don't know, of tissue holders. I made maybe a dozen headbands, something like that. So a bunch of stuff that I'm counting, and I want credit for all of those things that I made.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
It was sort of all consuming.
it was all consuming, yes. And then I
Yeah.
also made, I pulled together all the, well, not all the pink yarn I could find, some of the pink yarn I could find in my stash to make myself a new pussy hat.
Oh.
Yay!
So again, let me turn on my light so that you can see anything I'm talking about. So this
Oh,
is,
it's a good pink.
This is a strand of Malabrigo Arroyo in the fuchsia color. That's like the dark pink. I had some mystery skein of like a DK weight light pink variegated something. I don't know what it was. And then I also have
I think that was from Galentine's Day, maybe.
maybe.
Maybe not. Who knows?
I don't know. It was like a half a ball of pink. I don't even remember what I used the other half for.
Oh.
And then I had a strand of pink mohair in it too, so it's fuzzy. So I've got a very warm, very pink new hat for myself because it felt like the right time to get a new pussy hat. So,
yep.
Those are the only things that I really finished this month. I've been making. I haven't been finishing apparently.
Again, see boutique items.
Yes.
Yes.
There are many.
Yes. So
what'd you finish?
Yeah. Well, Karin, I wanted to talk about what Karin made, which maybe you will want to talk about more, Karin, which are your waxed cotton, right?
Yep.
Thread
It's
bags
quilter's
and
cotton
wraps.
with it's coconut and beeswax. So both of them are very good for antibacterial. You know, it's not going to make your bread last forever, but it does extend the life of your fresh bread. Bread or
Already
baked
people who bought
goods.
it have been like raving about how cute it looks in their
Yay.
kitchen and how nice it is to use.
Oh,
So
that's
those are all on the
wonderful.
website. And I think that's like a really good gift for like a lot of people. Like if you have anybody who likes food and bread,
And bread.
I think they're gonna like that. um,
So you
I
like so you liked my packaging? I put
yeah, the
a
packaging
lot of
was
work
really
into.
nice.
Well, anything that was waxed needs to kind of be contained a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And initially I put way too much wax. So I had it drying out in the yard. You know, I have like a what's the word? You know, like just a drying racks kind of out in the
Mm-hmm.
yard. But then also I ironed everything with lots and lots and lots of paper towels to absorb all the extra wax. But
They are great.
well,
Um,
thank you for sharing about it too. I
yeah,
because
and you have good
I had to
instructions about how to care for it
I
and
had to
everything.
send it so early to make sure it got there.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had lots of stuff left over from last year. So the main thing I finished is 28 Quillos.
Ooh, that's a lot of
And
Quillos.
if you,
that's a
yeah,
lot of Quillos.
if I actually finished 29, because to refresh myself, I made one that I had bought fabric for myself.
Oh,
Because it's
nice.
been a long time since I had a new one, and the other one's looking a little threadbare. So, what is a quillo? Many people ask me, which it is the way I make it, but okay, back up. It's a quilt plus a pillow, and
Yep.
it's a quilt or blanket that has a little pocket that you can fold your blankie up and stuff it into a pillow, which always makes me think of the 1980s cartoon character, the Popples.
The what?
Popples is a very obscure cartoon character where you folded this tummy pocket over it and then it popped out and it was like a weird looking bear or something. I think they had like tails with pom poms. So if you remember Popples, that's what's happened with the Quillo. you you fold it up, and the kids always like they would just roll it up and then shove it and flip the so you don't even have to be careful and flip the pocket over the wad of blanket. And the way I do it is I pick two cute flannels, and it's perfect for one person. And then the secret is that you can put your feet in the pocket when you're using
Mm-hmm.
it, so your feet are super toasty and roasty. So those are still on the. There's plenty of those on the website, and lots
I
of other
can report
goodies.
I bought one for somebody and he has used it every night since I gave it to him. He's like, this is the
Oh,
best. He loves it.
I love that
Yeah.
so much. Um, and then I finished a skirt for Mirabella. She is learning ballet folklorico, which is this very cool Mexican dance that is amazing. And I've been obsessed with these skirts forever already. So when she said she was doing that, I'm like, do you need a skirt? I would like to make you a skirt. I've been studying this already for a long time. So here is a picture of her wearing her folklorico skirt, and she picked the
Oh,
colors.
it's fantastic.
It's like a almost like it's a bluey purple, like a royal purple, and then she wanted a sunset ombre with her ribbons. And what a folklorico skirt is like it's actually double circles. So it's two full circles, one for the front and one for the back.
Oof.
And
Wow.
you slit the circle, if you can imagine, when you're doing paper crafts, when you cut out a perfect circle and you slit it along one of the folds to open it up, and then those are your two side seams of each one. So
And
it's
then you
like
add
it's like
another
a
one
lot.
on.
Yeah, it's a lot of fabric.
That's a ton of
Um,
fabric.
yes, and I actually need to lengthen hers a little bit because when she's twirling, it's just not as long as it's supposed to be. But I'm going to lengthen it from the yoke, so I only have to add a yard instead of adding like 5 yards on the bottom.
Smart.
That's smart.
So it's a lot like making a tiered skirt, which is one of my favorite things to make. And it took some iterations as my first go, but she looked amazing doing it. I took a couple just seconds long videos that I'll make you guys watch real quick. Here she is twirling her skirt.
Oh, look at it
Isn't that
twirl.
cool?
I love how the ribbons go.
Yeah. So if you don't know what folklorico is and you're listening, please just look up some videos. It's you're gonna be delighted. I think it's mesmerizing. That was a big push, that skirt.
I bet.
And then I had a commission that I've had since like conservatively I would guess May, but I think it was March. And I didn't really want to do this thing, but it was easier than trying to find someone else to finish it. So I finished 5 socks for someone. She
Wow.
Wow.
had one sock that she didn't finish herself, and then she wanted 2 more pairs. And it was all worsted weight, so it was not that high a drama. But here are my 5 finished socks.
A little farther over. It's blocking your. Ah, there they
Wow.
are.
That's a lot of socks.
Yep. But then that's not all.
Was it hard to match her gauge?
No.
No. Okay.
No. It was. I was surprised. That's a fair question. But the one I picked up was not so far off. But I did get a little nervous. It took every like inch of the 2 balls of yarn she gave me to make the 2 pairs for her. I had to be like very conservative, counting like exactly how many rounds. It was not measuring, it was per round. But then when I didn't want to work on it originally, and I also had too much to do, which is why I wasn't picking it up, I started another pair of socks back in the spring. So I finished those.
Oh, I love I love the yarn.
So this is a Patton's Croix, which is what made me want to go get more Patton's Croix and cast on more socks, was finishing.
Oh, that's so pretty. It's like a marled color.
Yeah, so this is the yarn. This is the colorway I used for my Alpine Bloom. So
cute.
I don't know when I finished that, but anyway, I had like 1.5 balls hanging around. So when I make my other socks, I think they're going to be like really anklets.
Yeah.
And I wanted to end up with exactly like nothing left over.
Okay.
So I cast on each I'd like to do toe up with a fish lips kiss heel. And I cast on each of the toes, and I was working like Lady and the Tramp style from either end, hoping to bind off with the perfect amount. And I'll show you guys the tails.
I'm intrigued.
After weaving in, this is the amount I had left.
Oh my! It's like
So
2 weeks.
Wow, you totally won, yarn chicken.
So there was probably, including the weaving in yarn, there was probably about 8 inches left.
Wow.
After binding off, and they were like joined together like this little joining umbilical cord, and I could cut it right in half, and I had exactly enough to weave in the end.
Congratulations.
That's
So
awesome.
lovely. And so I'm doing that again with each of those other balls that I started my socks on. Because I don't like the two at a time setup with two on the same needle,
Yeah.
but I do like the satisfaction of finishing two socks at the same time. So I would work just like a little bit on one and then work the same amount on the other, and like 10 rounds here, 10 rounds there.
That's awesome.
And it worked out pretty good. And I
Cool,
was
cool, cool.
very amused.
And now you have a pair of socks.
Yes. So
Cool.
those are the things I finished.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Yeah, I had a feeling that this this month's episode was going to be a little light on finished things, just because
Finished, yes.
we have so many,
Well,
what do you call those?
because
Boutique stuff.
Yep.
I would say it's, if you count the boutique stuff, then we like blew
It's our biggest month.
Sure.
the biggest month of finished objects.
That's true.
Yep.
I made my things over the course of several months, so I don't know how many of those things count as November numbers.
That's
but
true.
Yeah.
As many as you want.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, who wants to talk about what they're excited about?
Yeah, what are you obsessed with, Karin?
What am I obsessed with? Gardening.
Oh, fun.
Because
Tell us what you're
so
planting.
I put in a winter garden. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I don't have a picture of it though. I put in a couple of raised beds and went to my local Struddy's Feed and Tack and brought myself home a bale of hay in the back of my brand new car. But fortunately, the car has like a little tray in the back
yeah.
to protect the carpet.
My car has one of those. So you could like take it out.
Yeah, so we still had some cardboard left from, from moving and unpacking. But I'm like, don't put that in the trash. I am going to use that to put that in the bottom of my beds.
Oh yeah, weed barrier.
Yep.
Nice.
Not just a weed barrier, but so that I don't have 17 by 2 by 8 to have to fill up with soil. That's lot
true.
of soil.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to, I was hoping that it's fall, right? And we have oak trees. Did you know that oak trees don't lose their leaves in the fall? They lose their leaves in the spring when the baby leaves push the old ones out.
Oh, that's so interesting. I've never paid attention.
So they'll winterize and they'll be cold. So we will have oak leaves all winter, which apparently has kind of started because the mornings start now. It's at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's still 38 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a high of 55. But you know what that means? It's sweater weather.
Yay!
I've got decades of sweaters I can finally start wearing more than 2 weeks out of the year. So, and for whatever reason, I realize I've got 3 or 4 sweaters still on the needles that I'm working on, but I'm very motivated to.
For whatever reason, you don't need a reason.
For fun.
I love to quote Mindy: "Every sweater in its time."
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, what are you obsessed?
So I'm obsessed with the gardening. I planted garlic because you plant garlic now before it gets frozen, and then they stay in the ground and they'll come up in the spring.
Cool.
Very, very cool.
So, okay, that's all. Sorry. Done. Next person.
No, that's awesome.
Wait, I'm going to cut Katie off again. Are you going to ferment that garlic?
Of course I am. Why would I? Because you can only buy elephant garlic seeds for like 3 weeks out of the year. You have to buy it in September. They will because you have to buy it. You have to pre-order it because it goes fast, and then they ship it beginning of October. But you don't plant it until mid-November, so you have to keep it in the refrigerator to keep it kind of winterized so it doesn't go bad. But yeah, so I bought a bunch of that, and I bought some crocus bulbs. I don't know if the bulbs are going to last because I saw an armadillo today. I had to stop my car so I wouldn't run over it because they move slow.
Mm,
They really are possums with armor because
yeah.
they move slow like a possum. But
Also carriers of leprosy.
Yes.
huh?
Also carriers of leprosy.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
so no touch.
I would not have approached a wild animal.
Fair
But
enough.
but we've had critters dig in the soil and biggest freaking squirrels I've ever seen. The squirrels here are the size of cats. They're so big.
Everything's bigger
But
and sexier.
they've been eating up the acorns, which is fine because then the acorns are not, replanting in my yard. But
Yes, that is good.
but they've been digging and kind of burying them throughout the yard. And I wanted to get other kind of bulbs that you plant that would come up in the spring, but they don't do bulbs here. But I think that's because the critters dig them up and eat them. So we'll see
Oh,
if I have a crocus bulb. There's saffron, so you can grow your own saffron, but they're also the pretty flowers. So we'll see in spring.
Interesting.
Yeah.
exciting.
Cool.
So, Katie, what are you obsessed with?
I have been not wasting time, enjoying time, with just coloring. I
Aw.
went on. I have a lot of like coloring supplies. I've got like good markers, and I've got a crap ton of colored pencils and stuff.
Hmm.
And so I have been going on like Etsy, and you just search for like cute Christmas coloring pages or whatever. And
Hmm.
you can download like 30 coloring pages for like $5, and then you print them
Oh,
out, and then you
Wow.
have like, fun coloring pages. And so I've been coloring lots. I almost brought them in this room with me, but I forgot to. Little scenes of, a bear and a kitten decorating a Christmas tree, and a penguin sledding, and, fun stuff like that. When
Hmm.
I have felt
adorable.
this weekend like James and I are kind of in the midst of a cold, like a mild cold, but I didn't
Ooh.
have a whole lot of energy, so I spent most of my morning just like chilling and listening to Christmas music and coloring a picture, and that's as much as
Sounds
my brain
fun.
wanted to do today. So I will call that my current distraction.
I like that. That's wonderful.
I like
It's
it.
very fun. And
Um,
what are you up to?
you're recharging and resting.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I am gonna bring an Instagram account to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder too. Like, I feel like this is something someone else has shared before, but it's worth looking at it anytime.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's a miniatures artist called Odd Little Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't know that one.
So, see if I can skip ahead to the end. This weird, creepy little like Black Widow house this
Oh
person
yeah.
made.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's crazy.
fun.
Yeah,
Look how
and
tiny it is.
um,
Wow.
that's my yeah. So they fit in these like little terrariums that are.
It's so
Oh,
tiny.
sorry, hold on. Having Instagram issues. It's all female art.
Mm. And what was the name of the account?
Odd Little Workshop. Here he's assembling a tiny little
Oh, look at that tiny castle.
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 Oh, it's so cute.
That would
Yeah,
be
So
so fun to have in a
that's a
terrarium.
lot of
yeah,
detail.
it
And it fits
is.
on the head of a cork, like a cork, like a wine bottle cork.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this one on. He's making this like weird little snail,
Oh,
and it's so cool.
That's
Like
awesome.
even if you didn't weren't like even if this stuff wasn't appealing to you, it's such interesting techniques.
Yeah, I do
yeah.
just like watching it.
Hmm
Very
My
cool.
favorite is when he starts painting it, which will start any second. And I know you guys are listening to us watch a video,
Yeah.
but you too could bring up the Odd
Oh,
Little
look at the
Workshop.
details. Wow.
So it's like a funny little snail guy with these huge buggy eyes.
But
So
it's so
odd,
tiny.
yeah, Odd Little Workshop.
That's
I
awesome.
am completely obsessed.
That's adorable.
Hmm
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
So
like
that's all. Yabbit. Wait, no. I was say yabba dabba do, but I was really thinking Porky Pig.
you could say yabba dabba do if you want
Yeah,
to.
I can.
That's all, folks. I think is what
You
you were
can
looking for.
yabba all the dabba you want to do.
We again, if you want to check out all the stuff that we finished for our boutique, it's on our website at stringsandthingsstudio.com. And if you are local, you can put that you want to pick it up in store, so we don't have to ship it if you wanted to place an order. And yeah, make sure you check out our Patreon if you want more stuff from us. We're going to go record a little mini episode right after this. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks for our book club. We are listening to a book called Counterfeit, and I don't have the name of the author off the top of my head. It's Kirsten Chen, is that right?
That might be right.
Anna's looking it up. It's her pick. So if you want to join us for our book club, that'll be 2 weeks from now, where we will discuss our current book pick.
Yes, you remembered it right. Kirsten Chen.
Nice. Go me. It just popped right into my brain as I was saying, I don't remember. And then I just remembered all of a sudden. Yeah, so check that out. And thank you to Magic Mind again for sponsoring our podcast. We appreciate you. And make sure you go check them out. And make sure you use that link that I mentioned earlier, which is magicmind.com/stringsunraveledbf. And there will be a link in the description of the episode if you wanted to just click on it. And yeah, I think that's it for us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.